Hello, and thanks for stopping at my channel. If this is your first time here, give me a like, hit the subscription button below, and do share the channel with your friends. My contact information is listed below as to how you can get a private reading, and I would like to thank all of those who have contacted me for private readings and have supported me. Happy New Year to all, and I certainly hope the year has started off very well for most of us. So far, so good. We're going to talk about Uranus today, as the sun has gone into Aquarius on today, the 20th. And Uranus, you're in for a lot of changes this year for the next 7 years. And this applies to anyone with the birthday of 4, 13, or 31. I like to call you guys the hidden Aquarians. But let's see what's going on with you. Okay. Okay, let me see. You're going to be doing a lot of, you're going to seclude yourself quite a bit this year to get in touch with your own inner psychological issues that's going on with you. You're going to be dealing with purging yourself. You're going to purge yourself of a lot of things that you have been you've been wanting to get rid of a lot of negative energy around you and within you yourself. You're going to be going within yourself spiritually. You have the sun on the 24th. You got a new moon, a sun-moon conjunction, and Mercury is also in Aquarius, which means you're going to be doing a lot of thinking about yourself and how can I make things better for myself and for those around me too. You're going to be changing maybe even your residence this year. You're not quite satisfied with, the residence you find yourself in. And your job, you're going to be wanting to get into something having to do that can fulfill you more spiritually. You're not satisfied perhaps with what you're doing, the kind of work that you're into. So you want something that's going to be much more fulfilling to you, something that you like better. And of course you want more hours, so that, perhaps you can even do some meditation on changing your life and changing the way you want to look at the outer world, things around you. You want to be changing some of your friendships too, and that's very important to Aquarians, their friends. Your money situation is going to be spiritual. You got Venus and Pisces and Neptune. This is like a solar chart I'm reading from. And Neptune and Pisces, which kind of give you just a miracle way of getting money. If you notice, you have been able to go maybe to an old coat pocket and look in there. And there was a couple of dollars there, but it was just what you needed at that time. So Venus and Pisces making nice aspects to your midheaven. It's not a planet up there, but I have put the trans-Neptunian Poseidon up there. And Poseidon is a nice aspect to your Venus and Neptune, which means that you're going to get, money is going to come to you in a very unusual way, connected to your work and your career. On your third house, you have Uranus in this house. And this is where most of your changes are going to come in the coming, I say, next 6 months or so. It's going to come maybe for the next year or so. Anywhere from 6 months to a year, you're going to be making a lot of changes as to how you look at your transportation and the way you want to communicate with people in a better way. Because, Uranus, you can be kind of sharp sometimes as to how you speak. And I think you want to change some of that. Being able to get along better, especially with your relatives. Because you're taking some aspects there that's saying change. And change, sometimes, we don't want to change, but we just have to make some changes in order to maneuver our way across the planet on the planet while we're here. So if you have to make some changes here, this is a good time to do it because you're going to be going within yourself a lot spiritually here. And you're going to be getting a lot of good spiritual information too. You're going to do a lot of dreaming. Let's just make sure that it's not a lot of daydreaming, but you're going to get a lot of answers through some of your dreams. On the fourth house, not all of you, but many of you will be doing this. And as a matter of fact, when you do readings, everything is not going to apply to everyone. But this is the nature of your sign, and this is the nature of things that's going on with you at this particular time. But Aquarians, it's a very inspirational sign, and it has a lot of intuition. You just know things, And you're going to want to be getting into some of you are going to be wanting to do some scientific things this year. And this is a good time to go within yourself, pull it up. It's already there. You already got it in you when you came onto the planet. So whatever it is scientific, maybe you don't have a degree, but you know how to do things. Aquarian men and women too, they are very techy. They know how to, they know how to fix just about anything. You just call them. They might not have had any training in it, but they just know how to do it. Well, it tells you it was already there. So moving around to your fourth house, this is where you're going to make some changes too. So don't be surprised if you don't look up and be changing your residence. You might even be changing the state where you live. But there's a saying about Uranus: I will not leave you where I found you. What that means within the next 7 years is maybe not right away, but you will either change residence. Not only that, you'll change your whole attitude. And you have to be somewhat careful over here with your health too. Uranus rules ankles and legs and even some part of your feet. So take good care of those parts of your body. Take good care of your feet, take good care of your ankles. Don't be doing a lot of crazy stuff. Maybe like doing a lot of running, for training. Maybe you just can't do that. Uranus has gone into the sign of Taurus. And Taurus has a lot to do with peace, has everything to do with peace, as a matter of fact. And Uranus has to do with revolution, rebellion. With being an Aquarius, if they tell you to be to work at 8 o'clock, you're going to find a way. Maybe I can get there at 8:30, because Uranus is not a big person to follow the rules. But this is a time which you're going within yourself. You might be in the position now of the mindset that you want to follow the rules, because not following the rules can make a lot of trouble for you. I always say if you want to be in the driver's seat, you have to have your own car. So you cannot be, at work and they tell everybody to be there at 8 o'clock and you find a way to want to get there at 8:30. Can't do that. You got to follow the rules. And as I said, this applies to any 4, 13s, or 31s. As I said before, this is something that you're going to have to know how to. It's going to make it easy for you to be able to get along with people. And if you know your chart, this does not just apply to Aquarian Sun, S-U-N people, or 4s, 13s, or 31s. If you got hard aspects of Uranus in your chart, you will have a very Uranian type personality. And this will apply to you. You have to find a way to get along with people. Everybody, can't be wrong. Like I said, 50 million Frenchmen can't be wrong? So everybody can't be wrong and you be right. So you got to find a way to get past that. Go within yourself, search yourself, be able to look at yourself and see, am I doing anything that's bringing all this negative energy to me? Because you've been bringing quite a bit of it to you. In the 6th house, we have the power of fortune in that house, a North Node in Cancer. So this kind of gives you it gives you good health. I mean, any disease process coming to you, you'll be able to deal with it if it means going to the doctor, or Aquarians like to do a lot of self-healing. Well, Maybe you better go to the doctor if you find any problems going on over here, especially with your stomach. In the ninth house, we don't have a planet in that house, but because Uranus can reflect into that house, you'll find yourself having to deal with some legal issues like maybe your insurances this year, or you might be wanting, as I say, to make some changes, maybe going on some travel, maybe getting involved in sports, maybe with the young people. Um, this is a house, a very strong house of the common signs. This is a house of Sagittarius. So Sag has a lot to do with sports and, sport activities. And this Uranus is coming from your third house, which means that you might be getting involved in some sports with younger people. And this is a good thing. Give you some time to get out and also to see how the younger people are doing things. But make sure that you have all your car insurances in place and all of your health insurances in place, because this has a lot to do with that. And Uranus is going to put a lot of highlights in this house this year, for the next year or so. And I had said a little bit earlier, we have Poseidon over in the 10th house, and this is the house of your career. You're going to want to be doing something to give you some type of fulfillment. You might be becoming involved with just volunteering and helping people. Maybe you might want to help the homeless, help volunteer at a hospital if you're at that age group. And Uranus and Taurus, this is the first time we've seen Uranus here in 84 years. So some of us are having a Uranus return. And it's amazing because at one time, astrologers didn't think people lived to be 84. And at one time they didn't, it was rare. Now you see people well into their 90s. So Uranus is making a lot of changes for Aquarians because it has changed signs and it's changing directions. So that's what you're going to be doing. And it's special for Taurian people. And as I said before, if you know your chart, wherever you see Taurus at in this chart, that's where Uranus will be, and it will be making the greatest changes in that area of your life. So Poseidon in this house says you want something spiritual, some work or volunteer that's going to be rewarding to you. You might even find yourself doing a lot of work with older people that need assistance, which will be very fulfilling for you to do this at this time. Coming to the 11th house, we have Mars in that house, in Sag. And I like to say Mars in this house in Sag. Sometimes Mars will break up friendships because this is a house of friends. But it will also fight for your hopes and your wishes. That's one thing about Uranus. Uranus has to do with your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. And when it's well aspected in your chart, these are some very lucky people. Uranus has a lot to do with luck. Things just happening for you. And I always like to say it's good karma for you. Some things that you've done at another time and place is paying off for you this time. So Mars in this 11th house is in the sign of Sag, which is being deposited by Jupiter and Capricorn over in your 12th house, which means that, you're rethinking some of your friendships and if they are what you think they should be. But Mars is taking nice aspects to your Mercury. So I would say this is an aspect where you can, instead of being so suspicious and, almost paranoid, you can trust some of your friends. But you will know what to do. Come into the 12th house, and this is the house of seclusion. And this is the house where, as I have said before, the South Node is in this house. Jupiter's in this house in the sign of Capricorn. South Node is in the sign of Capricorn. Pluto's over here in the sign of Capricorn. Saturn is in Capricorn. And this is the house where you are going to be doing a lot of soul searching. Trying to get in touch with yourself, spiritual, and where should you be at this time in your life. And of course, you want to get rid of quite a few issues here. Some of them having to do with how you feel about those around you. But also, you're doing some soul searching on yourself here. which is a good thing. You're looking inward into yourself and say, what can I do to make change? Have I been bringing too much negative energy to me? Those are the questions that you're going to find yourself asking. But with the sun and the moon and Mercury in your first house, this is a time when you can accomplish quite a bit and make a new beginning for yourself. And I do believe that this is what is happening for many Aquarians at this time. Many 4s, 13s, and 31s. So this new moon is going to last for the next 6 months or so. Maybe even longer. You'll find yourself going within yourself a lot and looking for yourself spiritual. So don't forget, guys, to hit the subscription button below. Give me a like and scroll to the end of the video and leave a public comment. And share it with your friends and family and whoever might be in need of some information, if they're Aquarians or 4, 13, or 31. So until that time, see you soon. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to give some casino days and bingo days, but I'm just trying to figure out how to present the information. It's not as easy as it might sound. But however, have a great new moon. Until next time.